Hello, this is Andy Jones talking to you from Farmington, Connecticut, Data Management. Welcome to our webinar, eVisitorPass for Schools, how it works. Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you with us. We'll try to keep this brief. We know you're all very busy. What we're going to do is a quick 5 or 10 minute overview of eVisitorPass, a 10-minute product demonstration, and then at the end of this presentation, we will be answering questions from the audience. You can submit your questions by clicking on the Go To Webinar window on your screen. And please feel free to call or email your VisitorPass representative to ask further questions later. We'll provide contact information on a later slide. When you signed up, we asked you this question, and here are the results of that poll. In your opinion, what is the most important reason for having a visitor management system? As you can see, it's nice, even results. Almost 3/4 of you decided identifying visitors with a badge was most important, followed by keeping track and having a record later. Fortunately, our visitor management products do all three, so you don't have to choose, but it's nice to know where the priority is. Our presenters, there are 4. My name is Andy Jones. I'm there on the left. Kim Isabel and Mark Della Valle are your VisitorPass school specialists, your representatives, who you can talk to after the presentation. And Michael Phillips is our IT guy. He's the one who makes all this work. So hopefully you can see and hear everything. There's a group shot of our company down below. We celebrate our anniversary every year and recommit to our values. We've been around for 54 years. Well, not all of us, but the company has. And below that is our eVisitorPass motto, security you can see in lots of different ways. So welcome.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Mark. We know how difficult it is to fit one more thing into your day, so we'll do our best to move things along and make good use of your time. We're just thrilled to have such a diverse audience joining us today, from nursery and pre-K, K through 12, public and private schools, and universities and colleges in attendance as well. Before Michael leads us through the software demonstration, Kim and I wanted to provide a little grounding. eVisitorPass is designed to sign all types of visitors in quickly and easily, to identify visitors with a personalized and fabric-sensitive adhesive badge, to track the visitors in your school at all times, and to provide reporting for analysis in the event of an incident or evacuation. Our basic package, that system includes the software license, installation, training, support, license updates, and cloud storage for 1 year. You also get a direct thermal printer. Our direct thermal printer comes with 1 cleaning card, and the cleaning card is recommended to keep the unit clean and operational. Also, the imprint on the direct thermal badge is created by heat, so there are no costly charges. Finally, 250 badges to get you started. We have both traditional, non-expiring, and expiring badges to show through with a visual void to prevent reuse and re-entry the next business day. Our basic system is $250 for our schools plus free shipping, and the annual renewal cost in the second year is $250 plus the cost of your badges. With that, I'm going to turn things over to Kim.
Thanks, Mark. In addition to our basic system, there is compatible equipment available to enhance the functionality of our basic system, both in terms of saving time and improving security. I'll just walk you through that quickly. Our driver's license readers, or our DL readers, populate the software in seconds, saving manual entry time and ensuring that all visitors are indeed a welcome guest and exactly who they claim to be. The DL readers are capable of scanning any state-issued license and any state-issued ID, and capture the visitor's legal name and date of birth, which is an essential step when checking credentials against the National Sex Offender Database. So the information returned is accurate and reliable. Our DL readers provide the added benefit of sign out, which makes for efficient processing when groups of visitors are leaving at the same time, such as with a meeting or an assembly. The camera and stand positions the wide-angle lens at the head level, and our auto crop tool enhances the image for placement on the badge. Providing a real-time image is especially important for those visitors that don't have a license or a state-issued ID, so everyone is accounted for and archived in your database with a photo. We provide a USB hub to efficiently connect all the peripherals in one port, and as Mark mentioned, we also provide a cleaning card to keep your printer clean and fully functional. So our most complete system includes our basic system in addition to the compatible equipment I just covered. The most complete system includes the software, the printer and cleaning card, 250 badges, Basic DL Reader Plus, the camera and stand, and the USB hub. Our complete system is $990 for our schools plus free shipping, and the annual renewal cost in the second year is $350 plus your badges. If you do add the National Sex Offender Database service, just add $100 to the first year and subsequent year costs. So $1,090 in the first year and $450 in the second year, plus whatever the badge costs might be. So with that, let's jump into the eVisitorPass demonstration with Michael Phillips. And I'd like to encourage all of you to send your user, technical, security, and service questions our way, and we'll do our best to field them after the demonstration.
Thank you, Kim. And thank you all for the great introduction to the eVisitorPass system. I'm going to be walking you through a quick little demo. So several simple scenarios, and then we'll take some questions after. This will be a short 10 to 15 minute demonstration. If you'd like more information, we can provide you with a personal demonstration later. And we'll throw up the contact information for that later. So there are three main sections of the screen in eVisitorPass. First is the visitor registration over here on the left. And this is where you'll sign your visitors in, such as parents, contractors, or even substitute teachers, into your school. Your school logo will appear up here. You can use a school logo or a mascot. Over on the right-hand side is a second section, which is the visitor's log. This is where you'll be able to see who's currently pre-registered, currently signed in, and recently signed out. The last section is the reports, and that's where you'll be able to view the history of who's been visiting your school. We'll cover that later. So first, we'll have a walk-up visitor, so a parent who walks up to visit for a conference. So if you purchase one of the driver's license readers, you'll just click on the Read ID card button here, scan the barcode on the back of the driver's license, and confirm the ID. Now you do always have the option, if you didn't want to purchase the driver's license reader, to manually type in a person's name, or if they don't have a driver's license available, you can do that as well. Now the next step would be to enter the company name. Now for schools, typically they'll just put in parent or leave it blank. The company name really applies to contractors and vendors. Then you're going to select the visitor's destination. So we're going to select room 101. And if you've purchased the camera, you can also add a photo by clicking on the camera icon. We'll set that up here. And then you'll have your visitor stand in front of the camera, smile, and take a picture. After that, with a few clicks, you can zoom in, update the profile, and you've got a photo of your visitor that will print out on the badge. Now, the last step, or one of the last steps, is entering a visit note. So if you wanted to enter in the reason for the person's visit, This is where you would do that. So this I'm just going to put demo. Oops. Now the next step would be to choose the visit length. Now down here we have the default visit category time period. So each visit category, such as all of these, can have its own default visit length time. I'm just going to change that to 2 hours and then sign in and print. Now since I don't have a printer connected to this computer, it's going to give me this little error message, and we're going to look at a badge preview. So here, this is an example of what your badge could look like. It shows the visitor's name, photo, where they're going to, and the time they're expected to leave. It also includes a unique barcode for signing out with our optional sign-out scanner. The sign-out scanner, it won't be necessary if you purchase one of our Turbo driver's license readers. It doubles as a sign-in, sign-out scanner as well. So we'll close this, and now we'll be able to view that signed-in visitor underneath the signed-in list. It shows up right here. Now when your visitor is ready to leave, you can simply click on their name and click the sign out button. And that's all there is to it. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to get somebody signed in from scratch, run them through. Now I'll show you how to process a returning visitor. So when I return next week, this is what you do. Now you can either scan their driver's license in again, or if you already know the name of the person, you can start typing in their name. And as you can see, you'll get a list of possible matches when you start typing in. So once you find the person you're looking for, click on their name, and it will remember the full spelling of the name as well as the photo that we took earlier. Then you can either type in or select where the visitor is going to be going. And again, the notes. When you're ready, sign in and print. So as you can see, as a returning visitor, it's a considerable amount quicker since all that information on your visitor has already been stored in the database. So just needs to pull it out and display it on the screen for you. So now that we've seen how simple the system can be, let's take a look at some of the more advanced features. Now, once you've entered your visitor's information, you can double-click on the picture profile to bring up this new window here. Now, in this window, you can enter in more information, such as a phone number, email address, notes about the person. Now, this is also where you'll find the flag status feature, where you can assign a flag to a visitor. For example, if this visitor was a troublemaker or any issues like that, you could assign them a red flag and add a description or note as to what that flag means or represents. In this case, he'll need an escort required when he's visiting. When you're all set with that information, you can click Done. Now, if you've entered this person in and that little flag shows up, all you have to do is double-click on the flag or the person's profile picture, and it will bring up this window so you can read the reason for that alert or that flag status. Now in this case, that visitor has an escort required, so we're going to change their visit category from visitor to escort required, and that will show up on the badge. When all the rest of the information is set, just click Sign In and Print. And your badge is ready and your visitors on their way. Now, most of our schools have an interest in tardy students or early dismissals, and we can offer that to do, or ways to do that as well within the visit category section by clicking the visit category and changing it to either early dismissal or tardy slip. We can set this up so that it will process that information and won't have to print out the badges if necessary. On this demo account, we've set it up so that tardy slips can log the entry and print out the badge, and early dismissal will just log the information without the badge printing out. Now we're going to take a look at reporting. And we offer 4 different types of reports. First is the visitor's log, and this is where you'll be able to visit all the visitors for a specific visit category, such as parent, contractor, substitute, or you can view all your visitors by selecting the all option. You would select the selected time frame. You have a variety of choices. We'll just do this month and then click go. It's going to show the total number of visits for this month along with the person's name. If a flag status was added to that person's profile, that'll show up in the next column. Company, the visit category that was used to sign them in, along with where they're going, time in, out, and duration, and notes about their visit will all show up on this report. Now with these reports, you have the option to print them out, or you can export them to an Excel spreadsheet, a PDF, or a Word document. The next report is the single visitor details, and this is where you can view the visiting habits of a particular individual. So you'll click the select visitor, enter the name here, select the visitor, and then select the time frame. Once you click go, it's going to pull that information off of your database. And it's going to show you all the information about that person and their visits. So just as before, we'll show the visit category used to sign them in, time in, out, and duration, where they were going, and notes about that person. If this person had a flag status applied to their name, it would show that as well as the reason, and just other information that you have gathered about the person. Just as before, you can either print or export this to one of the 3 options. The next report we have is the flag visitor list, and this will allow you to view any visitors who have a flag status applied to their profile. You can view one of the 3 categories by themselves, or you can view all flagged, and it will show you all the visitors with a flag status applied. It will show you the total number of flagged visitors along with the categories separated, so you'll know who has what type of flag status. It shows basic information about that person along with the flag comment or reason why they have a flag status applied. Contact information if necessary, and the date that the flag status was created. If that person's information was scanned in with a driver's license, you'll get a little checkbox in this area here, and the state that the driver's license was issued from will show up in the last field here. Just as before, you can either print or export this report. Now the last report we have is the evacuation report. This is a live report that will show you anybody who's pre-registered to show up within the next 2 hours, anyone who's currently signed in, and anyone who has recently signed out. This will give you a nice little snapshot, so if there was a reason for an evacuation, such as an emergency or even just a fire drill, you can have this report on hand quickly so you can have an accurate representation of who might be in your building. Now we've included an easy way to access that. Right here on the main screen, there's an evacuation report button, and by clicking that button, we'll print out that report we were just viewing without any question. So you can quickly get the report and leave your building. So if you'd like a private demonstration, you can contact our sales department to schedule one, and we'll put up the contact information a little bit later on the screen if you want to do that. Now I'm going to turn it back over to the rest of the team for the remaining portion of the webinar.
Thanks, Mike. Here's a great eVisitorPass flyer that outlines all the details that Kim, Michael, and I have processed with you today. We'd love to send you a copy. It includes our software packages, the basic and complete systems that we talked about, in addition to our a la carte offering, which allows you to buy only what you need. In addition to first year and renewal year costs for our software, compatible equipment, and the National Sex Offender Database service. And as Kim mentioned earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to send them our way. While we're waiting for questions, we also want to mention that we are here to provide, as Michael mentioned, a private demonstration where you can have an opportunity to ask questions concerning your campus specifically. A free 30-day trial offer, so you can test our software for free. A quote, if that's helpful during your evaluation process. A 90-day satisfaction guarantee if you decide to purchase, and always free shipping. We know that this is a very involved decision-making process and hope that this has helped to bring you some peace of mind during that decision-making process.
Thanks, Mark. As we mentioned at the top of this presentation, we can take questions now, and on your GoToWebinar window, there should be an area there for you to type in your questions and submit them, and we'll be on the lookout for them and answer them the best we can.
Okay, we do have a few popping up already.
Okay.
The first one we have is, can we have our school logo print out on the badge? And I can answer that. And the answer is absolutely. Whatever logo that you send to us that shows up on the screen as I displayed will also print out on the badge itself. See, we have another one here. Can we add more visitor categories? Absolutely. I had just shown a small sample of just some options that have come up from customers in the past. You know, the visitor, vendor, contractor, parent, those seem to be the most commonly used visit categories. But whatever categories you feel are necessary, we can help you implement that.
Hey, Michael, I have a question. During the your demo, you did the alert, you know, the red flag alert, like, oh, this is a troublemaker, better have an escort. Are there other kinds of alerts?
Yes, there are. We have two other colored alerts, green, which we refer to as the VIP, and the yellow, which is just a general other alert. So we found that with those three options, you can usually get a lot out of that feature.
For example, like the yellow might be requires a wheelchair or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Great, thanks.
Next question is, how long does it take to set up? A typical installation and training process takes about an hour. I usually say about 15-20 minutes for the installation, which is all done remotely, similar to how we're working today. And then the training session, which is usually we roll right into that after the install, takes about 40-45 minutes. Could take a little bit longer depending on how many people are in attendance or if there's a fair amount of questions afterwards. Next question, if a school has several entry points, do you need more than one system? And the answer to that would be yes, you would. For each operating terminal, you'll need to purchase that. How does the system notify staff of a flagged visitor? Unfortunately, we do not offer a notification or messaging feature with our software. So if something like that needed to be done, the best way I could recommend is by printing out or sharing the flag status report. What support do you offer after purchase? For 1 year during the duration of your subscription, you get, as it stands, unlimited support. So if you had so much as a question, or if your printer stopped working, you'd start by giving us a call. More than likely you'd end up speaking with me, and we'll do a little troubleshooting and hopefully get you back on your feet quickly.
Michael, what about upgrades?
Well, we do about monthly updates of the system, either getting rid of bugs or adding new features. Those are all included for the duration of your account, or as long as your account is active. And they're pretty simple. We've got it down to just starting up your program, and if there's an update available, you'll be notified, and you can either proceed or decline if you want. But we do recommend updating so you stay on the latest version. Next question I have here is, can I install the software on more than one computer? You can install the software on more than one computer, but the stipulation is that if you're planning on using it to sign in or out visitors, you will need to purchase a license for that additional machine. We do offer what we refer to as a back office terminal. So if you needed to have another system for pre-registration or viewing and sharing the reports, we can offer that to you for free. Another question here, can we add more destinations to the visiting field? Absolutely. There is really no limitation to the amount of destinations added to the visiting field, but we do recommend keeping it to a handful or so of the most popular visited destinations in your school. We don't have any limitations, so we could add 100, but in all honesty, it might be quicker for you to just type a person's name in rather than searching through 100 names. Hold tight. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to type them in.
Right, and excuse me, Kim. I just wanted to let everybody know that you can always follow up with additional questions later. We're going to make a copy of this presentation available on our website, visitorpasssolutions.com. It'll be a recording of this session as well as a PDF of the slideshow itself, so it'd be easy to print out and share with others. We'll have future webinars as well, so keep an eye out for that. And let us know if you'd like to see other topics for our webinars, as well as when the best time of the day is for you to participate in a webinar. Because I know the school day gets very, very busy and hectic.
I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the renewal alerts that are automated.
Absolutely. About approximately 30 days prior to the renewal date, you'll start getting a little pop-up every time you open up the program, just informing you that your renewal date is coming up. It'll tell you how many days you have left. It also includes your sales rep contact information, their name, phone number, and that information, so you get a nice little reminder when, a month in advance, and gives you plenty of time to take care of that.
Okay, well, if there are no more questions, again, ask them later of your rep. Their contact information here on the screen. We'll leave this up for a little bit, so you can copy it down if you'd like. But we really appreciate your attendance. We kept this within half an hour, so we're pretty happy about that. Any final thoughts from anybody before we go? And we'll call it a wrap. Have a great weekend. Up here in New England, it's been pretty rainy, but it looks like the sun's trying to come out, so we're happy about that too. So thank you very much again, and hope to talk to you soon. Take care.